courthouse the other day in the hallway. You're singing "Oh Happy Day."
One word prayer. Justice, where are you?
Welcome to a special edition of Bryant and Baden. I'm Linda Kenny Baden. Jennifer Dulos' brutal death was brought to life in a courtroom in Connecticut today. The jury in the Michelle Troconis case sees horrific evidence of the Jennifer Dulos murder, and our own Michael Bryant was there.
Hey, Linda. Yeah, it was I was going to say explosive day here at the courthouse in Stamford, but that's a little sensational, so I will just say it was bloody important. And I mean bloody zip ties, bloody bags, bloody clothes, bloody paper towels, bloody cloth towel, bloody bra, bloody top. Yeah. All of this evidence finally coming in front of the jury today as the prosecution continues its case against Michelle Troconis in the conspiracy to kill Jennifer Dulos. So, the jury was rapt, to say the least. This information has been talked about a lot. We've heard all about the bags that were littered about the area there in near Hartford, but nobody had seen what we saw today in court. And the jury, let me see, 9 of them left now, very interested in what was going on there. Let me tell you about the evidence that we saw and some of the objections that were made by John Schoenhorn. His biggest concern was that, especially with the blouse, I mean, look at the bra, look at the blouse. I mean, they're not just spattered with blood, they are drenched. They are, at one point, dripping with this blood-like substance. Again, there's been no laboratory evidence suggesting it was, in fact, blood. At this point, it's blood-like, but look at it. He was concerned that because these items went from the testifying witness officer who collected them to the lab and then were tested, that the jury was being misled, that these were not the items as this officer found them. Therefore, there needs to be more foundation, and that will come from the lab folks. But not normal to lay part of the foundation and then have the material admitted into evidence, and that's exactly what happened today. So during the break, I asked counsel for Michelle Troconis, John Schoenhorn, I said, don't you think it's kind of unusual that they would admit this material subject to later foundation? And all he said was, everything in this case is unusual based on the rulings of the court. And you can tell it's a real quote because I wrote it down in my official reporter notepad here. So,
Michael Bryant, what about the jury? Did we lose anyone else today?
Let's talk about what's left of the jury. I alluded to the fact there's only 9 left. Remember, they had 6 in the box. This is Connecticut, 6 in the box. Then they had 5 alternates. They wanted 6. If you read somewhere, they got 6. They never did. They got 5. So on day 1, there were 11 total. 6 in the box, 5 alts. Then we had some issues come along. One was the interaction with counsel at the elevator. We still love you. Gone. And then there was the social media posting referencing Gone Girl.
Why, it's not good enough for you?
It's not even close.
And that person's gone. So I'm doing the math because I wanted to figure out kind of who it was that is no longer on the jury. When we started with the 6 and 5, of those in the box, that 6 in the box was 3 men, 3 women. Okay, and then the alts were 4 men, 1 woman. Well, now we're down to overall, are you ready? Down to overall 5 men and 4 women. Well, we had 4 women to start. We have 4 women now. So my powers of deduction and reasoning, Linda, tell me that the 2 guys bounced were guys. Yeah, the 2 that were bounced were men. They are no longer on the jury. I do remember one was an older guy, tall, all white hair. He's one of the 2 that's gone. The other was a younger man. Maybe the extremes of those that were on the jury, Linda.
Michael Bryant, the trail of evidence is so important in a courtroom. Is this jury getting the whole story about where it was collected?
It's very interesting, the locations that all of these bags were found. We've only seen a handful of them so far. We believe there were as many as 30 drops, maybe of multiple bags at one drop versus another. I want to head up to that area later this week. It's about an hour and a half or plus from here, the courthouse in Stamford. But to give you perspective on the other locations that are important to this jury, we were out, of course, at the New Canaan home where Jennifer Dulos was allegedly killed and or abducted. That's about half an hour from here at the most. And it's another hour up to Farmington, which is where Fotis Dulos lived, because they had split up back in 2017. So he lives in this mansion there. She's living in the mansion in New Canaan that she was renting. And there's a lot of travel back and forth. Why would you take whatever you took from the New Canaan alleged murder scene to back where you live, north about an hour? Why wouldn't you dispose of it, I don't know, either somewhere more local, somewhere more remote? But no, to take it back and drop it off in these receptacles along a busy street, that's weird. So I want to take a look at that general area, give the folks a sense of what that area is like, and we'll do that a little bit later this week.
Thanks, Michael Bryant, again in the courtroom. And again, I know that you're going on a field trip this Thursday, but as you know, Bryant and Baden will be on this case to tell you whether or not the prosecution can connect Michelle Troconis to the murder, because this is her trial.